Inequality did not only increase between those that could work from home and those that could not. Gender inequality also worsened during the pandemic. Even before the pandemic, women in the UK made about 20% less than men. Typically, women's jobs do not suffer as much during a recession. For instance, in the Great Recession, 2008, jobs in construction and manufacturing were affected mostly. These are industries where typically more men work. However, in this crisis things were different. The industries affected most were retail, so shops, and leisure and entertainment. This is because these jobs tend to be done face-to-face in close proximity to others. And obviously this was not possible during lockdowns. Women tend to be more likely to work in these jobs, and therefore were more likely to lose their jobs than men. But this is not the only reason why women suffered more economically. Another reason women's situation worsened had to do with working from home as well. Parents that were working from home had to take care of their children, and in many cases also homeschool them. In this figure, we look at how many hours mothers and fathers that were working from home spent on these activities during the pandemic. So this is in addition to the hours they spent working for their jobs. The bars on the left show the hours per day spent on childcare, and on the right, the hours spent on homeschooling. On the left, we see the numbers for the US, in the middle for the UK, and on the right for Germany. The blue bars are for men, and the red bars are for women. In the UK, women with children spent on average almost 4 hours per day on childcare, compared to men who spend only about 2 hours per day. Now for homeschooling, the difference is not quite as large, but again, women spent more time on this activity. They spent more than 2 hours per day homeschooling their children, compared to men who spent less than 2 hours. We see that this pattern is true for all three countries we looked at. And this is the case for both childcare and homeschooling. Now, why is this a problem for mothers' careers? They were less able to focus on work, were interrupted more, and in the future, this is less likely to lead to promotions and more likely to lead to them losing their job. So if women on average were already earning 20% less than men before the pandemic, then one can imagine that the gap will not close any further in the near future. One can also imagine that this has led to stressful situation and voluntary job quits. The future will show whether this will leave a permanent scar on careers, or whether policymakers will adapt by facilitating the balance between family and work. This problem is not only specific to the pandemic. Given the high prices of nurseries and childcare, many women drop out of the labor force after having a child. By providing high-quality nurseries, the government can improve the job prospects and careers of family, while at the same time developing smart children for the challenges of the future.